I've had a couple of brilliant quotes of the week this week. One being one of the pharmacists came in to see me while I was sitting in the office, and she said, "Oh, Sarah, I need to talk to you. You've got a bad back. What do I do?" And I was like, "Okay, go ahead, whatever." She said, "Oh, I've just woken up this morning with, so much pain. What shall I take?" You're a pharmacist. Go take some paracetamol. If in 2 hours you don't feel better, take some ibuprofen as well. And do one every 4 hours. And the ibuprofen up to a maximum of 3 times a day. And if when you've taken both you still don't feel significantly better, take something with some codeine in it. Either the paracetamol or the ibuprofen with codeine as well. And she was like, "Oh, yeah. Wow." That wasn't the quote. That was just stupidity. The quote was, "Of course it's all right for you. You're used to it." Wow. Lucky me. Lucky me that I don't come in... What? Lucky me that I'm in pain all the time, so it's not a shock to the system. I still have days where it takes me by surprise. It was just bizarre. It was bizarre. Anyway, so then I said to her, "What have you taken this morning?" in order to establish whether she'd already taken the paracetamol, or whether she'd already taken the ibuprofen, or whether she'd already taken the codeine. And she said, "Oh, the morning got away from me. I haven't taken anything." It was like 10:30. So the woman had woken up with some pain, hadn't taken anything. So that means she'd managed to get up, she'd managed to get dressed, have a shower, drive to work, and then work at her desk or on the ward for 2 hours. Fair enough, in some discomfort. But for a minute there, I was actually, my heart was going, "Oh, you poor love. This is obviously really difficult for you." The woman hadn't taken anything because it got away from her. The morning got away from her. Now, if her pain was significant, she wouldn't have been able to forget about it. I don't know why that's something that annoys me. I've said it in one of my previous videos from last summer. If you're going to bother saying anything about the pain you're in, make sure you've taken something, because when part of my problem is the fact that I am drugged up to my eyeballs and I can't function in my head and I'm in pain, how do you think that makes me feel when you're choosing to be in pain just because you won't take some paracetamol? Fair enough, if I was working in Sainsbury's or in an office and people would physically have to leave the office to go and buy something, fair enough. You've got a headache, that could almost be asking, "Can I have some of your paracetamol, please?" Fine, I'll deal with that. We work in a hospital pharmacy. We have a box of patient returns that were not full packs, so they couldn't go back into our dispensing robot, they couldn't be redispensed. Sometimes the packaging is just a bit too shabby, so it wouldn't be professional to give them out again, but there's nothing wrong with them. We have a full box of paracetamol, ibuprofen, domperidone, paracetamol and codeine. Anything that you can buy in the chemist, we keep separately for the staff to use. Antihistamines, anything you can think of like that you might buy. It's a free-for-all, because otherwise we would just throw it away because it's not in good enough presentation to give back out to patients, and they are all things that you can have without prescription. Now, this completely confuses me. I just don't see how anyone could stand in front of me if they know me and do that. Now, it's fair enough to say, oh Sarah, you're being too sensitive, or oh Sarah, they're not thinking about you at that moment. But I guess I can't escape. I can't forget. Which is why, if your pain is a level you can forget, maybe I'm just envious. Maybe I'm envious, maybe I do lack sympathy. I don't know. But I know that when someone has a headache and they haven't taken some paracetamol, I don't give a flying fuck. If they've taken something and they've still got it, then they can have all the sympathy, love, hugs and pats that they need. I think a lot of people don't think that sometimes things that are blindingly obvious to some aren't to others. I know that, and I know that as I say it, it almost sounds like I'm having that revelation. It's just difficult. And I'm sure some of you watching this are going, oh God, I'm so glad someone else feels like this. I know you are. I'm like you. That's why I make these videos. I'm here to remind you, you are not alone. And sometimes I come on here in order to get a reply that reassures me that yes, I am right every now and again. Not very often and not always, but the way I feel is not a bad thing. It's not my fault. And I'm not a horrible person. People just don't get it. But you do. A lot of you do. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you get it. Because it's not fair. It's really not fair. Coming back to this colleague at work, I wonder what she would say if not only we told her the spoon theory story, but if she spent every waking hour with a spoonie. If she knew that we were awake from the early hours, taking pain meds, before we're able to get up, putting ourselves together, getting dressed, being dressed, some of us, the decision that you make when you get dressed. What can you wear? Are you in a position where you can put on tights? Can you wear a dress? What shoes are you going to wear? You usually I have to start at my feet, whether I'm wearing trainers or flat boots. Trainers means I have to wear trousers, of course. And I can only wear a skirt when I can wear my flat boots. But some days I could wear my boots, but I can't get leggings on. I couldn't fight with a pair of tights. Some days I can't wear a certain pair of leggings because they press too hard on one of my nerve-sensitive patches of skin, or if it presses too hard on my sacroiliac joint, where the waistline is on a pair of trousers. But I have to look professional for work every day, and it takes me 10 minutes maybe to do a full body scan to work out what I can wear. I have to eat something to take my meds, but I don't really feel like eating in the mornings. The journey to work. Since losing my car from the seizure, my dad takes me to work. So I think people already have an assumption there that my journey's easy. You just get in the car, someone else brings you, you get out at work, right at the front door, and you come in. Now, they don't know how difficult it is for me to get in and out of the car, how painful it is to drive certain routes to work, how painful it is to sit in traffic, speed bumps, just the vibration of the car when we're just going along at a normal pace. My dad can only go certain routes, which means we have to leave at a certain time or the traffic's particularly bad. We can't take diversions that increase the car journey to, over half an hour. Or he would have to check with me first. And this is before I've even got to work. This is before I somehow kick, scream and cry my way through 7.5 hours in that place. What the fuck am I doing? I just have to qualify and then I can just work 1 day a week, make a bit of money, enough to live on 3 days a week, live at home forever. Sorry. People don't understand so much